It's
So
what do you
I'm waiting for people to join up right now.
what are you invested in? Like what kind of crypto? 'Cause I've
Solana,
heard-
Sui,
What about Ethereum?
Ethereum.
Ethereum.
Yeah,
See, I don't
I
even
used to be
know.
big on that back in the day. Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. That's the
Yeah.
old crypto.
All right,
Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Damn, I'm late to the game. See?
I know the guy who ran that company.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Which one?
So
There's a few of them. Which
really?
one? There's Vitalik and yeah.
I don't know. I knew it was from the bathhouse in New York City.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, it's not a big deal. He's just an ordinary guy.
I mean, they're all
He
ordinary
had
guys.
a lot of money. He had a lot of money,
Yeah.
but so what?
They're all ordinary.
Yeah,
They just got money.
But no one talks
Guys, we're
about
doing
me.
a little different live stream here today, guys.
I'm just as important as that dude.
Got a few people with me right now.
Everyone's money.
That's it.
Let's see.
Period.
I think we're about ready to get started here.
Yeah, that's like everyone was
Let me go ahead and turn the music down for a little bit. I think we're ready to get started on the stream.
Okay, Ethereum's old. So what do I need to do?
I don't know anything. Gotta join this thing.
I know. I'm trying to listen.
All right.
I need to know all of
There you go.
this.
Oh, wait.
But what about investment? So what do you invest in?
You have disposable income?
All right. Welcome, guys, to meet Damien live stream. We're gonna do something a little bit different today. I'm on vacation, and I got a few people. You might see a few people say hi, that sort of thing. I'm in a lobby right now, where I get some good Wi-Fi here. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about Bitcoin. We're gonna be talking about crypto. You might hear some voices in the background, but we're gonna talk about the cryptocurrency bounce here that we're kind of getting right now. Let me look at the daily charts. Looking at the daily charts for Bitcoin, we see Bitcoin's currently trading at $118,000 and up about $375 today. And
Actually, I feel like
you know, we got that bounce off the 21 EMA, this white line right here. Okay, this 21 EMA is a line that I like using a lot because we
I know.
closely hover either above it or below it, or we get a bounce off of it. And that's the reason why I'm saying that we got a bounce, is because we got the bounce off of this 21 EMA, but we also got this bounce off of this golden pocket retracement on Bitcoin. Okay, so yeah, with this golden pocket, I've measured from the $123,000 level all the way down to like $98,000 Bitcoin, where we saw Bitcoin go down to that level around June 22nd here, and it gave me these Fibonacci numbers here, right? And I you know, we saw Bitcoin, it got down as low as 114,750. That's literally the 0.65 retracement right here. So yeah, I think some of my new friends that I've made here, it looks like they're probably on their way out. But yeah, it's gonna be a little bit lively live stream here. You might hear some people in the background, but I'm still gonna do your requests here for your cryptocurrency requests. Just waiting for a few more people to join, and then we'll be done. And then we'll get started here. I see we got Dave P. Yep, we got Dave P in the chat. We got Duality and John316. Good to see you. John316's requesting Chronos. Okay, we'll take a look at Chronos. Appreciate that. I'll put that as the first request to look at. Thank you for the request. And then let's see. My TikTok guys. No requests yet. No requests. Okay. All right. That's cool. So we'll finish off here on Bitcoin. Then we'll talk about Chronos, and then I kind of want to look at Sui because I think Sui's having a pretty good day, getting a nice little bounce as well. I know some other cryptos, they got their bounces. They started going up higher prices yesterday after we saw kind of like a market meltdown last morning. Okay, but okay, I got a request here from a TikTok guy who wants to look at, I guess, CVS stock. We'll take a look at CVS. Okay, appreciate that request. Why not? We can do stocks and crypto. But I know most people like talking about crypto during the weekends because that's like the only thing that's trading 24/7. So yeah, we'll look at that. Appreciate that request. Let's see. Is that the only? I think that's the only request that I got here for TikTok for now. Okay. Yeah, I do crypto and I do stocks. Fast Roadie. Yep. A lot of my guys, they like guys and gals, they like requesting crypto for the most part. But I can look at stocks as well. I'm also invested in the stock market as well myself. So yeah, we'll take a look at that. And I see Porky joined the chat. Hey, good to see you, Porky. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. So yeah, I'm in a different setup. I'm on vacation, guys. I'm in Martha's Vineyard. So if you see some people come in and out, don't be surprised if they come in and out. And if they don't come in, it's probably because they're shy. But you might hear them in the background. Okay. But yeah, it's a little bit different. I'm on vacation, but I'm also trying to do this live stream here for you guys as well. So I appreciate you guys coming and joining the live stream. And don't forget to hit that like button. We'll try to get the likes to match the amount of people in the live stream. And yeah, for my TikTok guys, if you double tap on your phone, that's how you do the like button for me. So I appreciate that a lot. So yeah, let me just finish up here on Bitcoin. So I think we can be still bullish here on Bitcoin because we got the bounce off the 0.65 retracement level here. I draw the fib out from $123,000 Bitcoin all the way down to 98,000, which is where we got the last higher low on the daily chart here. Around June 22nd. That's where I'm measuring my fibs out. And, you know, we got that golden pocket retracement. If I turn on the RSI here real quick, you'll see that Bitcoin is RSI level is in the 60s, okay? So we're done with being overbought like we were last week. And, you know, if Bitcoin wants to go up to higher prices, I think it has the green light to do that, okay? So maybe we might see a better week for us going into next week. But yeah, last week or this past week has been a little bit rough for some people who thought, like, you know, number goes up, prices go up all the time, but that's not the case, as you can see. But it looks like we got the bounce on Friday, so that's good to see. That's good to see. And let's see, is there anything else I can pull up on the charts here? Looking at the market cipher B chart here, we did get a red signal here, a sell signal on Wednesday, July 16th. So that was actually not this Wednesday, but the Wednesday before that was saying that, hey, be careful out there. You should consider taking profits. And that signal came in for Bitcoin on Wednesday, July 16th. So now we're kind of waiting for a green signal to come in, a buy dot. When you see that buy dot, this is kind of like my cheat sheet, guys. When I see that green buy dot, that lets me know, like, yeah, we got the green light to be bullish again on Bitcoin. So right now we're kind of cautiously optimistic on Bitcoin because we kind of got a little bit of a bounce yesterday. But we're still waiting for this green dot to show up on the daily chart, so we know that we're gonna actually have a good week for Bitcoin. Okay, so that, you know, what comes after red usually comes green, so we're just waiting for that green dot to come in here on market cipher B. So I think things are looking pretty good for Bitcoin. We also got low stochastics here. On stochastic RSI, we see that Bitcoin is also having low stochastic, so it's ready and primed to go to higher prices if we get the momentum to do that, okay? And if Bitcoin does decide to go to higher prices, we still have to contend against the $123,000 all-time high, where Bitcoin got up to like 123,231 on July 14th. I think after that, if it continues on going forward, then we could see Bitcoin go up to the 1272 at $130,000, and then we could see $138,000, which is the 1618 Fibonacci extension from my Fibonacci analysis here. Okay, so those are your upside targets for Bitcoin. Your downside targets, don't lose the golden pocket here at $114,000, or else we have to go down, probably revisit the old all-time highs at $108,000 Bitcoin here. Okay, so those are your downside targets, upside targets on Bitcoin. Let's move on to Chronos. For John316, who came in the chat, John was asking about Chronos, so let's go ahead and take a look at that for him. Let's see how Chronos is doing out there. All right. So we got Chronos currently trading at 13 cents. Actually, you know what? Let me do a quick sound check. Make sure you guys can actually hear me. I can hear myself. Okay, yep, I can hear myself. All right, I gotta do this unless, you know, I haven't heard anybody say, Damien, I can't hear you, but sometimes I forget to turn the mic on, so I have to double check to make sure I didn't do that this time around. But yeah, we got Chronos currently trading at 13 cents, up 2.9% today. Chronos is on a rally right now, a bull rally. Okay, clearly got above the 200-day moving average, but I'm a little bit concerned that Kronos is going to come back to this area that I highlighted at 11.5 cents right here. This red line has been a line where it has been resistance in the past and also support on the daily time frame here. It's just a level that I already looked at because I know my buddy John316 here has requested it a lot, and I just know that was going to be a tough level to beat, but we've already beaten it. However, can we continue the momentum? Let's take a look at the oscillators here. We'll look at the RSI here. Now you can see that on Kronos, the relative strength indicator here, the RSI is overbought. We're at an RSI of like 82 here. Okay, so you have to tread with caution. The likelihood of this continuing to go up is not that good. The likelihood of this going down, or maybe even going sideways, is a lot higher than us going to higher prices here. So I think you know, with Kronos, you should probably be taking profits, and you know, if you're swing trading in this, then maybe you can try to put in some buy orders in at 11.5 cents, see if you're able to catch you know, a dip here on Kronos. But you know, guys, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I have to put that out there. Okay, do as you will, but if you feel like you made some good money on this and you're a little bit worried that you might lose some of your profits, I would start, you know, considering clicking that sell button here on Kronos here. Okay, now just going forward here, right, looking at the VRVP, let me go ahead and turn that indicator here. We got the green and red bars here off to the right. As I start to zoom out and get some more data here on the charts, you know, this is very helpful because this is actual data. These green and red bars represent, you know, the buys is the greens, the green part of the indicator, and the red part of the indicator is the sells. And this is showing like where people were buying and selling and at what price. Okay, so there's a lot of resistance at like 18 for Kronos. Okay, I think if Kronos continues going up to higher prices, it's going to be hard for it to push past 18 cents using this VRVP indicator. Okay, but before we even get to 18 cents, there's actually some resistance here at this value area high at about roughly we'll call it 16 cents here. And that's mainly because if you look at the past here, back here in December and also the November of last year, there were people who were buying Kronos at that level thinking that they bought the dip, okay, only for it to then continue going lower here in January and February. Okay, so these people who are kind of trapped at like 16 cents, they might be anxious to get out of Kronos at 16 cents. So I think 16 cents is another upside target that you have to look for. As this thing gets closer, it's probably going to get sold off at that level because those people who bought back then are probably going to want to break even, and they're going to click the sell button. If you want to come join them at 16 cents, I think that might be a good level for you to get out of Kronos on the upside here. Okay, so I gave you kind of like the upside downside targets here, just using the VRVP. And then also, you know, just the line here that I marked here. Let me just get rid of the VRVP for now. Just 11.5 cents would be your downside target that I think doesn't really show up on the moving averages. Okay, but this is a level that has been previous resistance, and it could end up being support in the future. So that could be a level I think you want to look at if you're trying to get some cheaper Kronos here. Now I have a request for CVS stock. We'll take a look at CBS and let's see. Okay, we got a few people here. I guess I streamed a little bit early. I got some faces that I haven't seen in a while, but it's good to see Dave P and Duality in here as well. Let me know if you guys have any requests for your stocks here in crypto. But let's see. All right, we got a few more people in the chat here on TikTok. I'm doing a TikTok and a YouTube live stream at the same time. So I'm juggling between the two of you guys, between the two broadcasts here, but I'm going to do my best to try to get to all your requests here. All right, we also have a request for Sui. I'll take a look at the Sui for you. And oh, we got LM asking about Chainlink, Starknet, and Litecoin. Got 3 requests. I think that's going to be enough for you for today. But yeah, we'll take a look at Chainlink. Appreciate that request. And we'll look at Starknet. I'm a little bit interested in Starknet. Okay. And then we'll take a look at Litecoin. Yeah, sure, why not? All right. Let's see. And Arklow wants to look at TRB. Okay. We'll take a look at that. I'm just writing down these requests as they come in. I take them in the order that they come in until I'm able to monetize the stream. Or if you guys want to tip me to skip the line, then yeah, we can do your request first. About like an hour or two. Yeah. Probably I'm gonna keep it like short if I can for like an hour. All right. So yeah, I actually have somebody else here that's right next to me. Doing some work on his phone here. All right. Oh, looks like I just got a few gifts here from Almas. Okay. Almas. Let's see. Did you put a request in, Almas? All right. Well, I guess we'll start. We'll start with CVS, and then I'll get to your chain link after that. Okay. Appreciate that. Okay. Let's look at CVS because I don't really get too many stock requests, but I definitely want to take a look at this stock if I can. So let's look at CVS Health Corporation right now. CVS looks like it's currently trading at $60.70, up 3.3%. We're looking at the daily chart here for CVS, and looks like CVS. Just trying to get familiar with the chart here because I haven't looked at this chart. I don't think recently at all, to be honest. But I mean, CVS kind of looks almost like one of these cryptos here. Looks like it had its best days here on February of 2022, and you're in a downtrend, obviously making lower highs and also lower lows here. Kind of want to draw a trend line. So you got that downtrend that you're in for CVS. This downtrend acts as like artificial supply that kind of like suppresses the prices a little bit. So I would like to see CVS actually get above this trend line, this yellow trend line at some point, to let me know that it's actually making some bullish market structure here. But if we keep getting rejected off of this yellow trend line, then you know, it might be, we might have to continue going further down on CVS here. Okay. But looks like we've seen the worst days here for CVS back in December of 2024. It probably because they reported a bad earnings report. Let's see if I click on the E right here. Looks like they reported their earnings at $1.09. They were expecting $1.43. So that was a negative earnings surprise of 34 cents, or about 24%. And I think that's what sent the stock down. Yeah, it did. Because CVS was trading about like $56, and then, you know, then we came down here after that earnings report. We came as low as like $44. Okay, so nice 15 point hit on CVS, but it looks like it recovered. I'm just getting myself familiar with the charts here. What can we do here? What can we do? Do I want to do a Fibonacci analysis or a VVRP? I think I'm going to flip on that VRVP indicator one more time here for you guys. See what it's going to show for some levels here. I think that's about a good amount of data here. So we do have the point of control. This blue line is sitting at about $66 for CVS. I think if CVS actually gets up to like $66, which is like 10% higher than where it is right now, we could see CVS get rejected off of that blue line there. Okay, and if it does get rejected, where could it come down to? It might come down right back to the moving averages. We're kind of at the moving averages right now. The 200-day moving average sitting at like 60.77. This red number right here is like 60.75. So we're literally right at the 200-day moving average for CVS. This could be a good support zone for it to stay at right now. And you can just put your stop loss if you're game planning to like make a swing trade on CVS. Then I would say possibly put it right below this candlewick low here at like $58 or $57 if you want to keep it tight. And then you could ride this puppy up for like a nice 10% move, and then plan on selling it near like 66 or anywhere above this blue line at 60, 65 or $66. Should be a good area to possibly swing trade it if you're trying to be in it for the short term here. But I think long term, you know, as long as we stay above the 200-day moving average and we continue to go to higher prices, as I start to zoom back out again on this this chart here and gather some data, you do have a high volume node here at like 74. 74 is a level where most investors were buying and selling CVS back in like May of 2023. So I think those people might want to get out and just break even. So you could put your second take profit target for CVS at like 74 bucks here. And then as far as like another take profit target, you might want to look for 81 bucks for a value area high at that level here. But yeah, I think you know, 80 bucks should be a good long-term price target if you're in it for the long term on CVS, and that's going to be about a 33% upside move from where you are right now. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at Chainlink, and then we'll take a look at StarkNet and SUI. Chainlink on Coinbase. So we got Chainlink currently trading at $18.36. Okay, slightly up today, better than being down, right? Let me clean things up here on the charts, get rid of the VRVP. Let's see what this thing is looking like so far. Chainlink, what are you doing? So Chainlink has got above the 200-day moving average very comfortably, made its statement that it wants to be above the 200-day moving average. Would have been nice to see this thing actually come and retest the 200-day moving average, use that as support, and then get a bounce. But it looks like this thing is a little bit more bullish than that, and it's not even letting us come down to the 200-day moving average, which is sitting at $16. So yeah, let's see how bullish can it possibly be. I kind of want to move. I kind of want to measure, not move, but I want to measure like a Fibonacci here. If this is the swing high here, and we take it down to the lows back here in June, okay, you can see that we're kind of at the 786 retracement. Let me just move this off to the side a little bit so you can see the numbers better. But we're kind of sitting at the 786 retracement level, literally at $18.29. If we're extremely bullish on Chainlink, then this should be about as low as we actually go before we end up going up to higher prices here. So Chainlink is looking good, hanging out near the 786 retracement, and I would expect it to try to revisit the $20 level here like it did back on July 21st, okay? It looks like we kind of did get down to the 618 or the 65 retracement, this golden pocket level here. Let's see, we came as low as $17.17, so that's close enough. We actually got front run. We kind of bounced off this 0.65 level here at 17 bucks, and now we're kind of like chilling at the 786 retracement. But that's, in my eyes, extremely bullish for Chainlink. It means Chainlink wants to continue running up. We're not even getting a chance to come down to the 0.5 or the 200-day moving average sitting at 16 bucks. So let's take a look at the oscillator, because I want to see if it has juice in the tank to run up to higher prices. And the RSI, the relative strength indicator here, is showing an RSI of like 65. So you're down to being at normal levels here. If you're above 70 on the RSI, you're considered overbought, and we were overbought last week on Chainlink, and that's why Chainlink needed to kind of chill out a little bit and either go sideways or go down, and that helps reset the oscillator here. So now the oscillator is back in 60 territory, and maybe we can have another good week for Chainlink next week, and we can see Chainlink go to higher prices, and then maybe this thing gets back to overbought levels again on the RSI. And if Chainlink decides to become overbought here, then we're looking at a 1272 as your first take profit target at $22.89, and then you got a second take profit target at the 1618 at $26.17. I think those are some good levels to be looking for, but if you're in it for the long term and you're trying to like moonshot this, then we do have a 2618 at 35 bucks and a 3618 that says this thing could get up to like $45. maybe later on in 2025, if you know if Bitcoin is going up to like 200 grand later on this year, then I would expect Chainlink to be sitting pretty at 45 bucks here. But you know, one level at a time here. Right now, we just want to see that we can hold these levels that we're at right now and just get up to like $22 and show that we're making higher highs and higher lows here. And then we can try to go for that second take profit target at $26 here for Chainlink. All right. Looks like we're talking about SSK in the chat here. I see Dave P requesting SSK, I believe. That is the new Solana staking ETF. I guess we will treat that as a request from you. But yeah, you're right. It is a ETF that got created earlier this month. Let's see. I'm also looking at the chat here. Jim is saying you were just looking at CVS the other day, range bound since 2013. That lowest shakeout probably wrecked a lot of long-term people. Yeah, but if it shook them out, then there should be you know, stronger hands now. Whoever's left is in it for the long term on CVS. All right. So we looked at upside targets for Chainlink, and downside target is about, you know, 16 bucks is your downside target on Chainlink. Moving on to SUI, and then we'll look at StarkNet after that. Let's take a look at SUI. I believe Sui's having a good day. I actually bought a little bit of Sui myself yesterday morning at like $3.73, adding to my spot bags here. But yeah, I'm a little bit curious to see. Wow, Sui is having a pretty solid day here. Currently trading at $4.21, up 6.6% today. And nice green candles here. Good to see green, right, instead of red. I think we've seen enough red from the last couple of months here. But Sui, what can Sui do here? So I have done a Fibonacci analysis on Sui, measuring from the high levels that we saw Sui back here in May, where we saw Sui get up to like $4.29, down to the low here where we saw Sui get down to like $2.29. I'm sorry, actually I got it lower than that. I measured it from the lows here back at $2 when we saw Sui trading at $2 in April. So using that Fibonacci information there, it gives me this Fibonacci analysis here. Sui has done a nice back test of the 618 and the 65 golden pocket level here, where we saw Sui get as low as what, $3.51 on Thursday here. All right, that was enough for me to get a little bit excited. I didn't get at that low of a price, but I did get some Sui myself at $3.70. Just below the 786 retracement at $3.80. And I think Sui's going to try to retest this $4.28 level. And we want to see Sui actually break past that and make a higher high. Get people excited again here to be in this asset. And if it does, then we do have a first take profit target of $4.89 on Sui. Okay, that should be a solid level. I think it's also confluent with the prices that we were at back here in January, where most people were buying and selling Sui at $4.89 or $4.90. The people back in January, they're probably going to want to sell and break even if they want to get out of Sui and into other assets here. So just keep that in mind, that there might be a little bit of a resistance at that level. But if we continue past that level, we do have the 1618, and we could see a $5.67 Sui as we continue going forward here for Sui. And then of course, longer term targets, you know, we do have a 3618. I still believe Sui can get up to like $10. Why not later on in 2025 here? Okay. So yeah, that's Sui in a nutshell. Upside targets. Downside, you know, I know Sui is one of the stronger cryptocurrencies, so it's hard to actually catch a dip on Sui. Your dip opportunity was probably Thursday and Wednesday, and that was it. And then Sui wants to continue running. As long as Bitcoin is going to continue running, Sui is going to be right next to Bitcoin, gathering those bids and gathering that money up. Okay, but if SUI was to break this 618 level here, then I would expect it to come down to the 200-day moving average at $3.22. Should be a solid support level here for SUI if it does come down to those levels. But like I say, it's a probability. It's a if, not a when. You know, we don't know when it will do it. It might do it. It might not ever come back down to those levels, to be honest. Yeah, so that's SUI. We'll take a look at StarkNet now. StarkNet on Coinbase, sure, why not? And guys, let me just quickly do a volume check here. Let me see if how do I sound? How's the music? Is it a little bit too loud? See if how do I sound? How's the music? It sounds like the music a little bit low. I think I can actually turn up a little bit on my end, so at least I can hear it on my end. But yeah, just let me know if it's too loud for you guys. I could always turn it down, or I could turn it up if you want me to turn it up for my YouTube guys here. But yeah, let's look at StarkNet. StarkNet is trading at 13 cents right now. And what do we got? Looks like we clearly got rejected off the 100-day moving average on StarkNet. Whoever is using the moving averages here, they clearly decided to click the sell button once StarkNet got above the 100-day moving average on July 21st, this past Monday. The 100-day moving average is sitting at about 0.148 pennies here. We got above that. We got up to 0.158 pennies, and we tried to close above it, but then we lost the momentum here on Thursday. Took a nice hit down, but could this possibly be a higher low for StarkNet? I don't know. We'll have to see. How you doing? But if this is going to be a higher low and we are going to continue to higher prices, then I think if this thing does continue up to higher prices, that 100-day moving average could act as resistance again, sitting at 0.145 pennies. But actually, I think if we get past that level, we could get resistance at this 200-day moving average sitting at 0.187 pennies. So I think that should be your take profit target. Your first take profit target could be 0.18 pennies or 18 pennies here for StarkNet, because I'm pretty sure whoever is using the moving averages as a guide to like when they're gonna sell, they're probably gonna sell again on the rest of us here at 18 cents if StarkNet actually gets up to that 200-day moving average. And I'm just trying to see if there's any confluence here with 18 cents here. Looks like 18 cents was almost a lower high here back in May. But if we can get past 18 cents, then the next a high that we should get above is going to be about 20 cents, and that's like a psychological target for StarkNet here. So yeah. Looks like StarkNet has seen better days here back in like December of 2024 and November of 2024 when we had a nice little altcoin season going on. But even interestingly enough, this thing has been the higher prices here. We've seen this thing as high as, wow, the previous altcoin season back in March of 2024, this thing was trading at $2.78. This is a little bit disappointing to see. You would expect, if this is a solid project for cryptocurrency, you would expect this thing to actually hold its value, but looks like we had almost like a 95% drop in price, and I don't know, this thing could be bottoming out here. We could be bottoming out here on StarkNet. This, the bottom could have been what, back here on June 22nd at 9.5 cents. So this thing is kind of in the penalty box in my opinion, and right now it has a lot of proving to do. We have to start making higher highs again here, get past 20 cents, get past this 200-day moving average. If this thing can get above the 200-day moving average at 18 cents, then I would say, yeah, we can consider being bullish here on this asset, and we can actually consider us being in the bull market. But if you're below this 200-day moving average, you're still in the bear market and a bear trend, in my opinion, as far as things go. So yeah, I think show us that you can get above the 200-day moving average and you can start being bullish on this asset. But you could be catching the bottom. For you bottom fishers, you bottom feeders out there, this could be the bottom for StarkNet. All right, moving on to Litecoin, and then we'll take a look at TRB. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to do like an hour-and-a-half live stream here for you guys today. I do have some things I want to do. I'm actually on vacation. I'm trying to enjoy my vacation, but I'm also trying to stay in tune with you guys here. But yeah, I think an hour and a half is a good solid live stream here. So I think we're like halfway through it so far. Yeah, so we got like another 40 minutes here for us to do some more requests here. Yeah, I still see some more requests coming in. Let me try to write some of these things down here. So yeah, we looked at Chainlink and we looked at StarkNet. We're gonna look at TRB and then Litecoin, and then we'll look at SSK, and then I got some more requests here. We're gonna look at HBAR. Thank you, Mida, for joining the live stream and putting that request in. Don't forget the follow button if you're new to the Meet Damien channel here. Oh yeah, fast Rudy, you're welcome. I'm glad I was able to help you out with your analysis on CVS, and yeah, I think 65 is a good price to get out. That might be all you're gonna get for CVS this year. We'll take a look at Filecoin. Okay, yep, appreciate that request. And then Tezos. And then we got Say. All right. And guys, if I forget to do your coin, just remind me, because I got a lot of requests here. But I'm trying to do my best here to get to all your requests as best as I can. And if I forget one, just remind me again. All right. So moving on. What I said, we just got done looking at StarkNet. We're gonna look at TRB and then Litecoin. All right. So we're now looking at TRB Teller, currently trading at $41.75. I have some previous chart work that I looked at. It looks like Teller is almost in a symmetrical triangle. You got a uptrend that you're maintaining here, but you also have a downtrend, a very long-term downtrend that could act as resistance in the future here if we actually go up to higher prices. But I think Teller is literally steady as she goes. We just got above the 200-day moving average. You're slowly but surely making progress, so that's good to see. Nothing too crazy. You're not making any impulse, spontaneous moves here on Teller. But I'm just glad to see that you know, you're clearly making higher lows as you maintain the uptrend, and then eventually I want to see you try to get above the previous highs here, sitting at like $55.78, and then let's see if we can get above $67, $68. I think we looked at this this asset either yesterday or I'm sorry, not yesterday, about a few days ago. But I think I clearly said that $68 or $67, this area right here, this previous candle wick high at like $67.90, that's going to be your long-term take profit target. But also going forward, you might get rejected somewhere around this downtrend. This downtrend could still act as a invisible hand that's forcing us down into the ground. Okay, so just keep in mind that, you know, this downtrend line, somebody might click the sell button when they see it get to that point right there. But I think Most likely they'll do it right around like $55 or $56 here, where you got the previous candle wick highs back in June. So I think, you know, going forward, those are your take profit targets. Take profit target 1 is going to be $55. And then take profit target 2 is going to be $68. I could mark $55 off for you if you want, but you can also do it on your chart. Just put $55 as your first take profit target, and then 67, 68 is going to be your next take profit target 2. And I just think it's steady as it goes. You know, if you lose the downtrend, you know, that will be concerning. But I think the 200-day moving average sitting at $36.92 should hold as support, unless there's something wrong with this asset, and then you have to start reconsidering why you're in it if it's below the 200-day moving average. Okay, so moving on from TRB, we'll take a look at Litecoin. Is Litecoin doing things? We're about to find out. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Litecoin trading at about $113.85. And let me just take a look at chat here real quick. Jim, yeah, I am trying to enjoy my vacation as best I can, and I'm glad you appreciate this live streams. Thank you, Jim. If liquidity decides to push dark, the entire chart is effectively free price action to the upside. What goes straight down also goes straight up. Yeah, that'd be very interesting if it does do that. And John is asking, do we think altcoin season started? I think as long as Bitcoin dominance continues going down, we're in an altcoin season, okay? So yeah, in my opinion, altcoin season has started, and it's continuing as long as Bitcoin continues going up to higher prices and doesn't go down, okay? If Bitcoin goes sideways, we can still have an altcoin season as well. All right. Litecoin. Going back to Litecoin, the analysis here on Litecoin. Yeah, Litecoin trading at $114, clearly above the 200-day moving average. After it was having trouble with it back in May, and we lost the 200-day moving average back in March earlier this year. We have seen Litecoin at higher prices, so we know it's capable of doing it. You know, we've seen Litecoin at $130. I think $130 is going to be a level that I want to mark off as a resistance level in the future here. We'll pay attention to like $130 Litecoin. I think that's going to be a take profit target for a lot of people here. But yeah, let's see what I can gather here with Litecoin. Okay, so I'm actually going to do a long-term Fibonacci analysis here. I'm actually going to measure from the tops that we saw Litecoin get as high as $147 in December of last year, and then we saw it get as low as $63 in April of 2025 here. So let me get rid of these moving averages here, and we're just going to do a Fibonacci analysis here real quick from 147 down to the $64 level here. And this is what we have with Litecoin for fib levels here. Looks like we made it to the golden pocket retracement. So Litecoin might want to like kind of chill out here at $115, $117 until it gets the green light to go to higher prices, and that green light might not happen until Bitcoin actually starts making new all-time highs here. But if we finally get the green light to get past this 618 level here, then on the upside, the next target is going to be literally where I drew that red line. It's going to be the 786 retracement. Do you see how this works, guys? 786 retracement at $129, $130 is the level that we know that traders and investors were settling at back in January and February of this year. So I think that level is going to be a level, your first take profit target is going to be $130 on Litecoin. And then moving forward, of course, we got to revisit the highs back here in December at $147. So your second take profit target is going to be $147 for you long-term investors out there in Litecoin. And then going forward, you know, you can make take profit target 3 $170, which is where the 1272 is sitting at, or you can make take profit target 3 somewhere at $199. But I think maybe later on this year, going into maybe 2026 as well, you might see Litecoin try to make a run for $170 or even $200 Litecoin. I think you'll see a $200 Litecoin if you see Bitcoin at 200 grand. Has Litecoin been that high? I know Litecoin's been around for a while here. I'm a little bit curious. Yeah, we have actually seen Litecoin get up to crazy price levels here. Looks like back in 2021 we've seen Litecoin at $380. So we know it can do it. It's done it in the past, but you know, with so many altcoins out there, is there going to be enough enthusiasm and excitement for Litecoin to get up to like $300? I think your safer bet, right, is to just plan on maybe Litecoin getting up to $200 in this bull run. And if it goes past that, then hey, you know, congratulations, you're making even more money. But I think $200 is your safe bet for your long-term target on this cycle, because you know, we know crypto can go down just as good as it can go up. These things are very highly volatile assets, but I think $200 is a safe long-term bet. And of course, we're just trying to see if we can work through the levels here and get to 130 first, and then 147 all over again, and then 170 is another safe bet long-term target on Litecoin. Now, to the downside, right? We gotta at least analyze the downside. If this thing does lose its momentum and come down, then I think 0.5 retracement at $105 Litecoin could be where you can scoop up some cheap Litecoin. Litecoin at $105 should be a decent target if you're able to get it at that level. We don't know if Bitcoin goes to new all-time highs. I don't think you're gonna see $105 Litecoin. Okay, but maybe you might. If Bitcoin decides to do a dip on us. If Bitcoin does a dip, then yeah, you could expect Litecoin to come to $105 or maybe even $95 all over again. Okay, in my opinion here. Just my opinion, not financial advice. All right. Moving on to some other let's see. We gotta look at SSK, and then HBAR, and then Filecoin, Tezos, and Say. All right, let's do it. SSK. For those of you who do not know what SSK, this is a new ETF that just came out this month in July. This is the Rex Osprey Solana Staking ETF. So you can, if you're in the stock market and you want to get involved with Solana, this might be the asset for you. This SSK asset here, currently trading at $29.01. We don't have that much data here on Osprey. I'm sorry, on SSK. This thing started trading on July 2nd here. So not much data. I don't have any moving averages. Let's see if I click on the moving averages. Yeah, I don't really have anything to go off of. I could possibly do the 1 hour chart and see what that looks like, but just keeping things concise here. It's probably better for me to just analyze the Solana chart, which I'll probably do after this since we're talking about Solana, the Solana staking ETF. But yeah, it looks like we got as high as $31 here on SSK on Tuesday, July 22nd, and you're coming down here. And if I go into the 1 hour chart here, even on the 1 hour chart, you're starting to get some moving averages. You're just getting the 50-day moving average, but you've been having the 21 EMA, the exponential 21 exponential moving average, and right now you're below the 21 EMA. So this could be a possible buying opportunity now that you actually caught a little bit of a dip here. But I want to move on to the Solana chart. If we're going to talk about SSK, we should probably talk about Solana in that case. So right now, Solana currently trading at $187. And yeah, we're on the 1 hour chart. Let's look at the daily chart for Solana. And yeah, I do have some chart work here on Solana. Just a disclaimer before you say I have a bias one way or the other. I actually have my biggest spot bag in crypto is Solana. So I actually do like Solana a lot. And the fact that you can do staking and get a dividend yield or an interest on your Solana at like 5 or 6% is beautiful. Beautiful in my opinion. Okay, but that's my shill for Solana. Take it with a grain of salt because I actually do own Solana, but I think for a lot of people, Solana is a good investment to get started with crypto. Okay, and I think Solana is going to be around for a while, and it's got a lot of good things coming ahead for it. But yeah, currently Solana trading at $187 right now, and we clearly got above the 200 moving average. And I mean, we can still use some of these Fibonacci numbers here. You know, I measured from where Solana got up to like $295, and that was like back in January of this year. To the lows, we saw Solana get as low as like $95 here in April of 2025. So that threw people in for a loop, right? But it looks like Solana's steady as she goes, trying to recover. And yeah, I mean, what do we got? We got as high as $195 here. I'm sorry, no, we got as high as $206 on July 22nd. So we got above the 0.5 retracement here. And we're kind of sitting in between the 0.382 and the 0.5. But I think Solana is going to try to revisit $195 all over again here, especially if we're having a pretty good weekend in crypto. I think you'll see $195 Solana later on today or tomorrow. Probably on Monday, if Bitcoin continues doing good things for us here. And then the next resistance level, if we go up to higher prices, it's going to be the 618 at $218 Solana and $225 Solana. Okay, so you know, going back to your SSK ETF, yeah, you might be able to buy some more and catch the dip on SSK. Because I think SSK could go up to higher prices if Solana is going to be going up to higher. Obviously, if Solana is going up to higher prices, then SSK should be worth more money, and it's probably going to be going up to higher prices as well. But yeah, after we make it past $225 here on Solana, then we're going to probably get some resistance at that 786 retracement at $252. And that $252 is a level that traders and investors were trading at back in January 2025. So people here, they feel like they got trapped, okay? They feel like they got stuck with their bags, and if they see $250 Solana all over again, they're probably going to click the sell button. This might be another take profit target for you to consider selling your Solana if it does get up to that level. Okay, because there should be a little bit of resistance there, and then of course you got the resistance at $295, which is the all-time high for Solana back in January. There's going to be some more people clicking the sell button, but if we can get past those resistance levels, then going forward long term, there might be a little bit of resistance at 127 at $348 Solana, but I'm actually trying to see if we can push Solana to $417, which is the 1618. And then of course we got the 2618. I will definitely be selling my Solana at $615 there, because that's what this Fibonacci analysis is saying is a good target. And then of course we got the 3618 at $813. Could be a possibility. If we do hit that, it might most likely be, I think, early 2026. But one level at a time here, right? Let's see if we can at least get back to the all-time highs at $294 Solana. All right. Okay. Moving on to HBAR, and then we'll look at Filecoin. Alright, HBAR currently trading at 28 cents, up 10% today. I have obviously previous chart work here. We have looked at HBAR in the past here, especially on this Coinbase exchange is where we're getting this data from. Let me just zoom in here a little bit, see what we got. So I don't even know if this Fibonacci analysis is applicable, because I have the top side target at 25 cents and the downside target at 12 cents. We're above that, so it looks like we're gonna try to start making our way up to the 1618 here at 32 cent Hedera or H bar. I have to redraw this now, guys. I'm gonna have to maybe adjust this. Let's see, we got as high as, looks like we got as high as 29 cents here. So now that I got that, and then let me also put in the 1272 in here for the fib extension. And now this is what we're looking at for H bar. So H bar looks like it caught the bounce off the 618 retracement. We actually came a little bit below that at like 23 cents here on Thursday. Friday we got the nice green bullish engulfing candle, and then we're getting a nice follow through here on H bar with another green candle to the upside. And I think you're targeting 29 cents, which is what, only a penny away. Okay, but I think H bar, if it's going to continue being bullish here, you got the 1272 at 34 cents, and then you get the 1618 at 40 cents. Now I'm a little bit curious. Let's see what the RSI is doing. Do we have the momentum to do that? Do we have the juice in the tank? We did see H bar get overbought in the middle of July. RSIs were like as high as in the 80s here. Okay, but now your RSI is at 69. What a great number, right? 69 on H bar. We're not overbought, but we're about to be overbought, and maybe H bar is actually going to start heading to higher prices here. I still think it has the juice in the tank to try to make a run up to higher prices here. So maybe, yeah, we could see 34 cent H bar or even 40 cent H bar. But if this is going to be a fake out, if we end up making a double top for some reason at 29 cents, then yeah, we could try to revisit the 618 all over again here at 23 cents to the downside, and then maybe even come down and get some support and actually, you know, revisit the 200-day moving average for the first time, get a bounce off of the 200-day moving average at 21 cents here. So those are your downside targets for Hedera H bar, 21 cents. But this thing is looking pretty solid. You get one more green day, and I think you're going to be making new higher highs here for H bar. All right, moving on to Filecoin. Oh, Dave's got to go. All right, Dave, thanks for coming into the live stream. I'm going to be going soon myself after I get through these last few requests, because I gotta enjoy the rest of my vacation. But I'm glad you're able to come and see me, and we'll try to do another live stream, maybe around this time, or I don't know, maybe around like 5 or 6 p.m. You know, if I don't go live early in the afternoon, I'm live like around dinner time. You know, those are my usual live stream hours here. All right. We got Mindset in the chat. Asking for the name. I don't know what you're asking for, but I appreciate you following me for the first time here. Yeah, guys, if you're new to the Meet Damien channel and you enjoy this this analysis here, by all means, go ahead and hit that follow button and hit that subscribe button if you're a YouTube guy here. All right. Okay, yeah, we'll move on to the rest of these requests here. We'll now look at H bar, Tezos, and Say. Oh, actually, we just looked at H bar. I mean, we gotta look at Filecoin. Yep. All right, Filecoin. So we're now currently looking at Filecoin trading at $2.66. What has Filecoin done for us so far? So I see Jesus has requested ICP. Thank you for that request. All right. Filecoin. What has Filecoin done, and what could it do next? So I have looked at Filecoin in previous live streams here, done previous chart work, and Filecoin was in a falling wedge for like the longest time here, ever since it started, you know, falling down in December. And you know, the falling wedge, if it was gonna actually bounce to the upside, it would have done something like this, where we would have had a vigorous move to the upside, and we could have seen Filecoin get up to like $7.42. we still broke up to the upside, but not in a vigorous fashion. So this is no longer applicable. So I'm going to get rid of that for now. Filecoin is just kind of being lazy right now and just trading sideways. I guess you could count the bottom of Filecoin as June 22nd, where we saw it go as low as $1.95. What I want to see out of Filecoin is I want to see it start making higher highs again. The high to beat is $3.29. Get above that level and I feel like you can be bullish on Filecoin. I also want to see Filecoin get above this 200-day moving average, this red line sitting at about $3.07. So yeah, get above 307 and then get above like 330. And I would say, yeah, Filecoin is looking bullish and making higher highs and starting a new uptrend, in my opinion. Okay, but in the meantime, it is making higher lows. You know, as of now, you could count this as a higher low. And now we just want to see if can Filecoin make higher highs, then make it some more higher lows, and you got yourself a bull trend, bull rally on Filecoin. Okay. But just game planning this out, I think if you're in it for a swing trade or even a long-term trade, you just put your stop loss right below these candle wicks here at like $2.44. And if we lose $2.44, then there might be something wrong with Filecoin, and it might not be the asset for you. It might not be able to do it for you. But if Filecoin can stay above 244 and start catching some bids here to the upside, then yeah, I think upside target, first target's gonna be 307. Second target's going to be 330, and then it's off to the races after that, probably, for Filecoin, where we've seen Filecoin as high as like what, $4 or $5 here back in January of this year and December of last year. I think those are your upside targets for Filecoin, just eyeballing the chart here. Okay, so yep, that's Filecoin in a nutshell. Let's take a look at Tezos. I believe Tezos has done pretty good these past couple of weeks. And yes, Landa, you're right. Sui is flying. Is it still flying? Has it gone up to like $4? I mean, $5 by now? That's at $4.25. Yeah, I want to quickly look at Sui. Actually, Sui is my second biggest spot bag in crypto. We saw Sui get as high as, oh wow, $4.34. So Sui is doing that thing that it needs to do. Sui actually made a higher high than what it did back here in May. So Sui might be the one to get into. There's a lot of people that want to get into Sui, and they're doing it right now. Literally right now, as people are trying to get into Sui. It's going to be one of the first cryptocurrencies to run, especially if Bitcoin goes up to new all-time highs, in my opinion. It's got the juice to do it. Let's take a look at Tezos. Tezos currently trading at 89 cents. Hope you're able to see that above my head here for my YouTube viewers. Tezos, flat for the day. Not up or down. Let's see, we opened at 0.891 pennies and we're sitting at 89. I don't know why this thing is, do I need to click the refresh button? Because this thing looks like it's not even doing anything. Let me just click the refresh button here. See if I can get this thing to start showing accurate data here. And let's take a look at Tezos again. XTZ, I believe. Alright, yeah, alright, so here we go. Tezos, currently trading at 0.896 pennies here. And yeah, Tezos looks like you are catching possibly a higher low here at the 0.5 retracement level that we've done previous chart work off of. Continue doing that, and then, you know, we might get some resistance at 95 cents here for Tezos, which is where the golden pocket's at. Move past that level, and then we're going to see how it handles itself at $1.07. Okay, these are going to be your resistance level. If you're day trading this, 95 cents and then $1.07 should be take profit target 1, take profit target 2. And then going forward, yeah, we want to see Tezos get above $1.23 like it did. Well, actually, it got only up to $1.22 to be exact, but we want to see this thing get back up to $1.22. Okay, revisit those highs and then start making higher highs. And if it's able to make higher highs, then we got the 1272 saying $1.41 should be your next swing trade take profit target, and then 1618 at $1.66 should be your second take profit target if you're swing trading Tezos. Downside targets for Tezos, you know, can we try to maintain the lows here and stay above this possible higher low here at like at 83 cents? I don't know. But if we lose 83 cents, then maybe we have to actually come and visit the 200-day moving average and use that as support. And that's going to be at about 73 cents for Tezos. I think that is your downside target if we lose 83 cents here on Tezos. Alright, so that's Tezos, and now we'll move on to SAY and then ICP. And then I think that's going to be it for my live stream. We'll finish off on Bitcoin, and that's going to be it for today, guys. Alright. Alright, so we got SAY currently trading at 34 cents right now. And SAY is up about 4% today. Could this be a possible higher low for SAY? On the daily time frame here, we've seen SAY get as low as what, 30 cents and roughly about 31 cents yesterday. I like the fact that, you know, SAY kind of did a back test off the 200-day moving average, use that as support. That got confirmed here on July 8th, and we were able to send this thing up to higher prices here. And could we be making a higher high at some point here? I think for this one, I want to turn on the VRVP indicator. Let's see what the high volume nodes are showing. So I got the VRVP indicator, this green and red indicator off to the right. And looks like if SAY can get past where we're at right now at 35 cents, you got a value area high at like 38 cents. Could act as resistance here for SAY. And that 38 cent level, this white line, is a level that we were trading at back here in November and December. That could be some take profit targets for SAY. For some people who just possibly want to break even right now on their SAY. But yeah, if we can get past 38 cents, we got a little high volume level here at 45 cents. And then once you get past 45 cents, then it could be off to the races on SAY. We could possibly see SAY revisit the highs here back in December of 2024 where we saw this thing at 73 cents. And I think if you get to 73 cents here on SAY, you almost doubled your money. You should be taking profit at that point, in my opinion. Not financial advice, but if I double my money, I would sell something. I would sell some of that asset, to be honest with you. But yeah, those are your upside targets for SAY. 38 cents, then 45 cents, and then 73, 74 cents. Downside, if SAY does come down, we could maybe get a bounce off of this POC at like 28 cents. I highly doubt that we're actually going to come down to the 200-day moving average sitting at 24 cents, but that could also be another support zone for SAY. Alright, let's move on to ICP, and then we'll look at Bitcoin, and then that's going to be it for today, guys. Alright, let's take a look at ICP. I think we looked at this one, I could have sworn we looked at this one 2 days ago. Alright, let's see. I'll get rid of the VRVP for now. So right now we're looking at ICP currently trading at $5.66. And I do have previous chart work, so we definitely had looked at this asset already. To the upside target, I clearly see $6.32 being an area of resistance that we got to get above. It's also kind of like right where the 200-day moving average is sitting at. That could act as resistance going forward. So I think $6 ICP is going to, people are going to start hitting the sell button when we see ICP get up to like $6 here. But yeah, get past $6 on ICP. I think the next level is going to be obviously the psychological target of $7 maybe, where we saw ICP trading at that area back in February. And if I turn on the VRVP here, we do have a high volume nose sitting at about $9 here for ICP, and then we also have a value area high sitting at the psychological target of $10. So I think if ICP gets up to $10, then yeah, sure, it's going to it's probably most likely going to get sold, and you probably should be clicking the sell button yourself at $10 here for ICP. Okay, but yeah, that's clearly what the value area high is, so I will put that as a another line to be looking out for on the charts here. Okay, roughly $10 ICP. Okay, now I have to at least show you what the downside targets might be on this asset if it does go down. We'll get rid of the VRVP for now. We got the 50-day moving average sitting at $5.23. That could be a good area to buy some cheaper ICP if you're trying to add to your position here. Also got the 100-day sitting at $5.34. So 5.34 and 5.23 should be where you'd be placing your buy limit orders to see if you're able to get some cheaper ICP. I think that's going to hold as a support if we actually go down to those levels for any reason here. But yeah, that's ICP, and I think that's all the requests as of now. I see MMA Squires in the live stream chat here. Good to see you, MMA Esquire. I'm glad you enjoyed the info here. And in K Sport, how do you make an account on TradingView? Just go to www.tradingview.com and you can start your account with TradingView. You can do it for free, and then if you want to put as many indicators as I got, then you're gonna have to do a subscription plan. But they allow you to do, I think, like 3 or 4 indicators for free, and then you got to start paying if you want to do more indicators on the chart here. Okay, but yeah, www.tradingview.com to get started there. All right, finishing off here, we'll take a look at Bitcoin on the way out. And wow, I'm very pleasantly surprised to see Sui catching some bids here. Sui seems to be like the winner for today as far as high market cap crypto coins go. But let's see, with Bitcoin, finishing off here on Bitcoin as we always do on most live streams here. Bitcoin trading at 118,116 bucks, looking solid. All right, just doing the sideways consolidation here at $118,000. And yeah, Bitcoin, let's see. If Bitcoin is not able to maintain its momentum here, then we could revisit the 618 level all over again at $113,700 Bitcoin, and then also downside target $108,000 Bitcoin could be coming up on deck if Bitcoin loses its bullish momentum here. But let's see, let's go into the oscillators here. RSI for Bitcoin is sitting at 60, so Bitcoin has the juice and the jet fuel to actually go to higher prices here on the RSI here. So yeah, I think going forward here, Bitcoin could do the thing here, and we're just literally waiting for this green dot to show up here on the daily time frame here. If you see a green dot show up on the market cipher B indicator, like we did here back on June 24th, you know that should be a good time to actually buy Bitcoin again. And I think we might get that signal in the next few days here, maybe even today or tomorrow. And then let's see what the MACD is looking like. I don't think we looked at the MACD for Bitcoin, but MACD, yeah, we got some red candles. But if you start seeing light pink showing up on the daily time frame here, like we saw, you know, light pink back here in early June, that could mean that the selling pressure is dying down, and you're actually getting some buying pressure here on Bitcoin. Okay, like we saw clearly here in July, in the middle of July, that buying pressure was showing up. Okay, so start seeing light pink, and that could be a good sign that the selling pressure is done for now on Bitcoin. And then looking at stochastic RSI, okay, let me I guess stochastic RSI is also pretty low, so I think we have the green light to go to higher prices here on Bitcoin, probably in the next few days, next few weeks here. And that might catch some people off guard, because I think a lot of people are waiting to see Bitcoin go down to like 110 or even below $100,000, and they might not actually get that. These might be the lowest prices you're going to get for Bitcoin before we do another run up here on Bitcoin. And if we do another run up on Bitcoin, I still think 1272 at $130,000 Bitcoin is where we'll visit next, and then $138,000 Bitcoin is the 1618. And then, believe it or not, we do have some crazy targets where we could see a 2618 of Bitcoin at 163 grand and a 3618 at $188,000 Bitcoin. I still think that could come into play later on in 2025 here, going into 2026. So I think it's steady as she goes. Bitcoin is pleasantly surprising people to the upside here, and yeah, you got to be in it to win it for Bitcoin and crypto. But wow, I see HRJ Trading just made it into the live stream towards the end. We're just finishing up here, HR. I've been live for about almost an hour and a half here, and I am on vacation, and I'm trying to enjoy this vacation. But yeah, I'm glad I was able to come out and do the live stream. And Royal's asking, I'm actually streaming here in Martha's Vineyard. I'm on vacation right now in Martha's Vineyard. It's an island off the coast of Massachusetts, here in the United States. But yeah, I gotta go beach it up now and enjoy my day, and enjoy the rest of my Saturday here as best as I can. But I plan on going live probably around this time tomorrow, or maybe around dinner time. Okay, but yeah, you gotta go and watch that rewatch and replay the analysis here. We went over a good amount of coins. We talked about Chronos, we talked about Sui and TRB, HBAR, Filecoin, and Tezos. We talked about Link, Starknet, Litecoin, the new Solana ETFs, Solana itself, SAY, and ICP. And we even talked about CVS on the live stream earlier today as well. So, yeah, that's going to be it for this live stream, guys. I appreciate you coming in. Don't forget to hit the like button on the way out, and I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Take care.